Guys and dolls, it's Sunday. Not sure the date. Um, 20th or something like that, is it? But sometimes when just before I put the camera on, I'll have a wee think. No, as I'm walking towards the forest, I'll have a wee think about what I'm going to say. Have an idea of what direction to go in. Whether I'm going to complain about something, moan about something, rant, or just have a wee happy chat. And today I have no need whatsoever to think about anything because today we're going to talk about Tommy Robinson. Oh, can you imagine, guys, the haters that are watching me? Just, I don't know why the haters watch it, not maybe watching me to see if I slip up so they can report me for something. But, geez, oh man, I keep thinking to myself, I don't know. It's hard. It's trying to explain it the way things are moving. Like Tommy's got on his X, like it's a new era, and that's basically the best way to go forward with trying to explain it. It is a new era. People are waking up, and a lot of people have been saying to me, not a lot, a few, have been saying, yeah, but Nigel needs to be careful with Tommy because most of the public still think Tommy's racist. I totally agree with you. This is. I'm not trying to. I'm not asking. You got. This is. I don't want this getting confused. I'm not asking for Nigel Farage to support Tommy. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking him to stop talking shit about him. Just leave his name out of your conversation. When you fuck up. Sorry for swearing. When you mess up, take it like a man. Don't try and bring the most hated guy in Britain in your head and think everybody's just going to go, oh, right, Nigel. Oh, you're right, so it's all Tommy's fault. I knew it was nothing to do with you, Nigel. It's not happening. It's not happening. You just look like a wrong'un. It's the truth. To normal people, you just look like a wee wrong'un. Like somebody we see them in the jails. They go running through the screws. They see a mobile phone or hear a mobile phone or they know like a bit of weeds come on the wing. They go running to their favourite screws and think, oh, that's what you're like. That's what it feels like, Yeah, that one in the community. It's always got the 999 and speed dial, sticking all the veins in for kicking the football up against the wall. It says no ball games. That's what you're like. That's exactly how you come across, man. Personally, I've got no love for the guy. You know that guy. He's not my cup of tea. You know what I mean? Doesn't represent me. He doesn't understand me. This is the thing. A man like that would never understand me. No, seriously. You guys following me, I promise you this. You would have a more understanding of a man like me. I could sit down and have a brilliant conversation with any one of you guys. And it would be so fascinating and interesting to hear each other's stories. I couldn't do that with him. He wouldn't get it. He just wouldn't get it. And this is my problem, This is my problem. He doesn't get us, guys. This man doesn't get us. If he got us, he would never have brought Tommy's name into stuff like that. And like Tommy says, like on the post that he shared of mine. Sorry. But, yeah, like he says, the worst bit of it all was when Nigel said Tommy deserved to be in prison. That's fucking hard. That's hard. Can you imagine? That's like for Tommy, a wee bit like, if I can put a comparison, it's like you going to jail for something you didn't do and your parents say you deserve to go. Because, like, Nigel Farage didn't need to say anything. Coming out and saying that, for Tommy, that must have been so difficult. So difficult, Oh, guys, it is what it is. I'm not going to go on and on, I'm not going to go on. I've said all I was going to say about it. I'm going to leave it there at that, So, hope everybody's having a really good Sunday. And just out for a wee dander with my boy. He has to get a wee bit further walks because he's a boy and he's a peer, So he likes to leave his scent This is his wee area. He thinks he runs this place, and no other dogs are allowed to come here. And if there is, he has to pee over there, pee, and make sure he comes across as the dominant one. Dog life, innit? Dog life. But no, a couple of things on X this morning. Like, seen a young man on a tube station, or on a tube, or on a train, stabbing the life out of somebody. Don't think he killed him, like, but badging in front of everybody, and no jail. It's very easy to come up with a two-tier thing, and like I've said in my videos, it always seems to be mental health. Now, I'm not saying this was a terrorist attack. No, don't think it was at all. I think this was a personal vendetta between two boys. But it was the ferocious of the attack and the size of the knife that was horrifying. And the problem with letting the man off and saying he had mental health issues and all that, didn't sound like he had mental health issues. He sounded like he was in control of himself at that time, and he was punishing the guy. He hadn't lost his mind. He was punishing the guy, But, I don't know his background, so I'm going to play the devil's advocate, because he could just be like me. He could be a guy that's from another country, that's been through care and abused and all the rest of it, and maybe his mental health is shot. But the problem we've got, right, is the problem I've got is I've had mental health problems all my life, and not once did the government ever even look at me in that way. They just hammered me. They give me years and years and years in prison every time. I've never had a month's sentence. I've never had bail. Never, ever in my life have I even had a whisper of bail. And it sort of sends out the wrong message, Basically now what people are going to say, even people that's been through some sort of abuse, can use it as an excuse now, And it gives people almost the green light to go around doing what you want, because I can say no right. The government are just going to back me up and say, oh, he's got mental health problems. I'm not going to jail him. You can see where it's going. It doesn't take rocket science. This is what the judge said to me. The judge said to me when he gave me 18 years that this was a deterrent to stop other young Irishmen coming over and robbing their banks, So the deterrent seems to be okay, because obviously he's not sentencing me because of the crimes I committed, right? He's admitting that by saying that. He's saying he's sentencing me as a deterrent. So he's using me as an example to stop other people coming into the country. Now, if I had been found guilty on the 5 banks, I would have got 22 years, The most anybody has ever received for bank robberies in Britain that hadn't shot anybody during that bank robbery. You got to understand, like, they never even got a gun off me. They never even got a gun. Never mind knowing what car was used. They didn't get a drop. They didn't get nothing. They didn't even get an item of clothing that was used in any of the armed robberies. They couldn't describe the car. They didn't get any clothing. They didn't get anything. So that's just a wee personal bit I'm adding in, and I'm going to keep saying this. I deserve to go to prison. There's no two ways about it. You cannot just run about robbing banks. You can't. It's scaring people. Some people get terrified. Doesn't matter if you're only in a few seconds. Some people get terrified. They just don't, I'm not going to go on about it, but I'm totally aware, you know what I mean? I'm totally aware. I'm not stupid. I totally get it. When I'm talking about myself, I'm always aware that I deserve the jail. It's the consistency. That's my problem. It's the consistency with the sentencing. The amount of lives these people destroy when they do things to our children. And you got to understand as well, these people are out now. The ones that were involved in the Rotherham and all them 10, 12, 15 cities in England, were hundreds of men and thousands of victims. Most of them are all out in the street, in the same streets where their victims are. Does that make any sense to you? Think about how that must feel if you're a parent of one of these children. And I got me wrong, most of these children didn't have parents. Or they didn't have parents that cared, and this is why they were victims. This is why they were targeted, you know. And we all know that now, you know. It'll be better when I walk out west. This will be, seems to be when the brightness is thing. I'm going to try and lift it up a wee bit as well. I've noticed yesterday I'm looking down at it for some reason. So I will try and adjust it and stuff and do other things, but it means holding my arm away out. But no, it's like it's consistency, guys. We've got to get consistency. If you're destroying a human being's life, because when you do this to these children, just because you can't see the damage they're in, nobody could see the damage with me. You don't know what the government did to me, how far they went, because they couldn't keep me in Rathgale, and they had to try and get me into a secure place. You don't realise. I can't. I struggle to talk about it, and it's horrible. Because it's the most horrific thing that's happened to me in my eyes, you know, and I've had to live with it all my life. But I can't just talk about it. I really can't, you know. I mean, I will when I'm telling you my story. I promise you, I will. I'll bring everything will come out in fine detail. I promise you that. But right now, you'll understand when you know what I'm talking about. It's not the right time. It's so frustrating. I could cry about it, you know. But anyway. Consistency in sentencing, this is all we want, you know. If you're going to give bank robbers 18 to 22 years for jumping in 30, 40 seconds and grabbing a bit of cash out of a till and running away, no pointing guns and on the ground, I'm going to shoot you, jump to this is going to happen. None of that. In through the doors, over the counter, 1 till, 2 till, 3 till. Bandit notes, security devices thrown away, money in the appellate case, back over the counter, back into the car, gone. 40 seconds. Now, that's the truth. That is the truth. They know, the police know that's my MO. Any bank robbery that's been done like that, they know it's me. Okay? There's no two ways about it. And this is the problem because Northern Ireland have always known it's me. You know? And then in Scotland, they were like, they all work together. The police, when they came through my door in Belfast, it was the Scottish police, the Liverpool police, and Northern Ireland police. I had about 10 red dots on me, standing naked in my hall, and all I could see was guns and lasers, you know. Yeah, but that's look by the gun, die by the gun, and all that, you know, for a cop and all the rest of it, no problem. I live with that. But this is what I'm trying to say to you, you know. I understand bank robbery and all that, but this is key. I just don't get it. The reason why I do banks is because I'm too good to do anything else. I think the banks are just money. It's just money. It's the government's money. Nobody's losing. Nobody's going without food. Nobody's losing anything. Government, you know what I mean? It's the government. It's the government's money. I'm not taking money out of your savings, guys, or out of your accounts. So I wasn't, you know. So I didn't do anything else. So many things I could have done, got a lot more money. But people would have suffered because people would have lost. I don't know about insurance and replacing and all. I don't know any of that. I just couldn't do that, you know. And I'm not making excuses, but in my head at the time when I was young, I knew the bank clerks had training. They went through scenarios of robberies, so they were trained to deal with it, especially in Northern Ireland, you know. You know what I mean? So in my head, you know, it's like, it's not that bad. It's morally, it's not that bad, you know. But then when you go to court, you get the biggest sentence. Guys that's killed people, get out before you. You know, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I'm no saying like you got to understand. This isn't about me. This is about children who are being hanged, and the victim and the abusers are getting months in prison. Months, maximum 2.5 years, for some of the most horrific things that you can do to a child. Months. And then we've got this character that's just, what's his name? Was he not the one that's Al-Fayed? Is he not Dodi's dad connected with Lady Diana? And I'm not 100% sure. Him at home, Harrods. I might be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I apologise, because obviously it's this kind of topic. You need to know your facts. But I'm not a journalist. I'm just chewing a fat with some friends, you know. And he's been done before, and he was let off. Who let him off? Excuse me. Who let him off? Who do you think let him off? Who was in charge of the CPS in 2018 when that man was accused of a 15-year-old girl? Stormer. Again. Why does his name keep popping up around these people? You get me? Why did that man get let off with that back then? Why are men getting let off? Why are they not feeling the full force of the law, Mr. Stormer? You like that word? They're feeling the full... All your so-called far-right thugs, us, our normal civilians, normal parents, concerned parents, see the full force of the law. But no the elitists, no the beasts. You like your beasts, don't you? They're nothing. That's all they are. You know, they're not. They're inhuman. They're inhuman. If you knew what I knew, if you had what I had in my head, the pictures and the images that I've got in my head, and it's not what I've seen, it's what I've heard, eyewitnesses, and it's so easy just to, when somebody tells you what happened or what they've seen, it's horrific. Horrific. It'll make you sick. Make you sick. You know? No justice. They're free. You know? But I get 18 years. You know? This is my problem. And the Tommy Robinson thing, this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's not about, like, picking something to get back at the government. I promise you it's not about that. Jeez, I think I could have picked a few other things if I was that way inclined. It's not like that. Tommy Robinson is just simply a boy from Luton who's been persecuted in this country more than any other man in history of our country, in the history. You know? It's crazy. Yeah, it's when you look at the facts of this thing and look back, you've got to see it for what it is. There's not a man that's been persecuted anywhere apart from Russia back in the day, because I'm not going to speak bad about Russia. I love Russia. Russia back in the day in the old regime, China today, and South Korea today. There's the only comparisons you can meet with what's happened to Tommy Robinson. The actions of our government, along with Hope Not Hate, End Racism, and other organisations working together as one. These are civilians working with our government, Hope Not Hate, and End Racism, working hand in hand. Getting paid, taking the dough, yeah, getting paid plenty of money by our government to hate on a British citizen, a boy from Luton, you know, a boy from Luton. That's it. A boy from Luton who has had enough of what he was seeing with his own eyes and felt he needed to tell people what was happening in his town. And yous all silenced him for it. Well, I'm going to say this once again. Believe you me, I don't know how long I'm going to be here, right? But I promise you, every breath I have is going to go towards finding justice for that man. It's going towards holding people accountable for their actions in the last 15 years. Because you have all sat there, Hope Not Hate and End Racism, with the protection of the government, bullying and persecuting a man. You're doing things to somebody that anybody else would go to prison for a long time, because it is horrific what you have done. Hand in hand with certain characters. We've watched them, we've seen it all. And this is the thing, when you were doing it, nobody cared, did they? Nobody cares, because Tommy was silenced. These were all able to say whatever you want because he had no reply. He's made sure he's got him off every platform. Every single platform. He's got him all off it. And he's made sure you could say whatever you want, and he had to sit there and listen to that. Well, let me tell you something now. The tide's changing. The public are going to demand an inquiry. A detailed inquiry. Believe you me, this is coming. The public are going to demand a detailed inquiry on Tommy Robinson and the abuses caused by the government and who was implicit in that abuse. Right? There's no two ways about it. There's crimes that have been committed in this country against a civilian, a citizen, a British citizen. And there's been serious crimes committed against them by other citizens with the backing of the government. And they need to be held accountable. So, believe you me, you have had your time, you have had your great time, you're cozying up with the Labour government and all the rest of it. We know, and even with the Tories, any government, MI5, MI6, you are all involved. You are all involved together, working together to bring a man down. along with Apple, Android, everybody, every mainstream media and platform, apart from X, has been implicit, apart from YouTube, obviously. YouTube, you're alright. And been implicit in trying to destroy a man's life. And along with that inquiry, it's not just going to be about Tommy Robinson, it's going to be about his kids. Because his kids have been there when you have been doing this. You know? Mike Sutsbury. His children were there. You have been child abusers. There's no two ways about it. Even the paramilitaries in Northern Ireland hold back when there's kids involved. Jeez, oh. Not everyone, don't get me wrong. I know you're going to come on, but what about this and that? What about that? But I'm telling you, most terrorists, domestic terrorists in our own country, and the elite of the criminal gangland have a little bit of respect for children in the ongoing of their daily lives, whatever that may be. But yet, yous have done this to a man and his children and his wife is absolutely horrific. And, you know, anything happens to me, or I get silenced, there's so many of us out there now. And I don't need to do videos to put on my platform. I think you can see that. My videos go out to other people. I give my videos away for free. And I don't really need a platform. If I've got X, you can all come to X and we can have one of them spaces and we can all chat and have a talk and, you know, and have a community, you know. I don't need to do this, you know. We don't, you know, there's nothing. This is the thing, there's nothing. Even if I go to prison, I'll still be able to get in contact with you. You know, I'll still be able to get messages out. People will still post my words and my messages out to everybody, you know. Simple as that. And that's what's going to happen with all of us. The more they come at us, the more we're going to protect the people that are coming at us. You know, because it's going to get hard, it's going to get dirty, it's going to get gritty. Because when you start saying you're wanting people to be held responsible for things that they've done and they think they've got off scot-free, you know, that's when things get dangerous. And this is why there's no so many people like me. Because it's difficult, you need to have thick skin, you know. You need to be not afraid of prison. And that's the truth of it. You know, and like, one day the prisons are going to be full of people like me, you know, because outside they're going to shut us all up. But all I'm going to tell you guys is keep coming, because we will fill them prisons up for you to make sure that you don't go to prison. Because there's only so many spaces, you know. We've got enough problem with knife crime and real criminals. Never mind freedom of speech criminals, and they're using their words. So yeah, there's so many things that I can say right now that I'm holding back. There's so much evidence that I've got, but it's not for me to put out there. This is for a court. It's for an inquiry, you know. And everybody that I know is gathering evidence. When these people are putting stuff up on X and everywhere else, people are screenshotting them. They're all getting filed and categorised, right? And this is the way forward. This is how we're going to come at the left. No with violence, no with abuse, no with any hatred, with a calm, clear, legal way forward, you know. And we're going to bring justice for Tommy Robinson and for the many other people that they've persecuted over the years, you know. And that's where we're at, guys. That's where we're at with that. You know, it's not just about getting an apology. It would be nicer for us with apologies, but we know he's not going to apologise. We know that, you know. A Stormer and I'll be saying, don't you dare apologise to him. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, they get on like, but we know they're all buddies. He's part of the establishment. He's part of them, you know. And we got to be careful about that. We got to keep an eye on that one, right? Keep an eye on that one with Farage. I'm telling you guys, be very, very careful, because he is part of the establishment. Let me get out of the wind. Right, boy. I always look everywhere for him. Where's he going? Boy! Fucking nightmare. I know where he's gone. He's gone that usual route. I've missed my turn off. No, I haven't. Sorry, there he's there. What were you? There's a big sinkhole down there. Come here. Some boy. What are you up to? What are you up to, young man? You're not getting into trouble, silly Billy. yeah, so that's where we're at, guys, as far as my thinking goes with the whole Tommy Robinson thing. We're past all that shouting that he's not a racist. We're past all that, right? We're not even going down that road anymore. Everybody knows that now. And, you know, everybody's totally aware of who Tommy Robinson is now. And everybody's now wondering why was he silenced? Why did the government do that? Why did they use people like Hope Not Hate, McSulbury and racism? And Nick Knowles. Nick Knowles. It's a name to remember, guys. Nick Knowles. You know, come on, boy. So yeah, people are wondering now, what's the crack? What drove these guys to behave like that? You know, what drove these men to persecute a man the way they did? That's the question we all need to ask. And I think you should all ask that. Ask your politicians, ask your local councillors, tell them that you want an answer. Tell them you want them to go to Parliament, and the only question you want answered is why was Tommy Robinson persecuted the way he was, and why? Two questions. Why did the government use people like Mick Sudbury and Nick Knowles, Hope Not Hate, and End Racism to persecute the man? Why did they use people like that? As far as I'm concerned, this is nowhere to lie. These guys are terrorists to our country. These guys don't love our country, and they don't care about our country. They don't care about the future, because they know they're not going to be here much longer. You know what I mean? Because like we all die, don't we? There's that much cancers and everything going about and all sorts, you know. You're lucky if you make it past 50 these days. You get into your 60s as a bonus. You hit your 70s, you may as well have gone when you were 60 because you're going through that much pain and agony. You know, never mind getting a pension. You know, they keep going on about pensions. You don't see your pension. Nobody sees their pension easier. The majority, if you honestly think that you're working all this time, working really hard for that pot of gold at the end of it, forget about it. Forget about it. If you've been eating the food that they've been selling you, forget about it. So what's that? You're not seeing your pension. You mental? You might see a wee bit of it, you know, but that'll go to the government. The government's going to get your pension, you know. That's why they raised the age, because they realised people were just getting that age, and a couple of years, the older ones were just rattling it, going on cruises and giving it to their grandkids and all the rest of it. And the government, oh, we need to raise this a wee bit. That's the truth, guys. That's the facts, 100%. It's all about cash. You can see that with the bank robberies. Steal a bit of money off them, they hammer you. Steal off their banks. Whoa! Do something to our children. Well done. Where you go. Mental health problems. There's a wee 6-monther for you. Yeah. Am I not getting deported? Oh no, you can stay. It's all good. No, you can stay. Walk away. Bad around. Enjoy yourself. You know, just don't take our money. Don't touch our money. Yeah. So guys, you know, I'm not gonna go on and on. It's just I don't even know what time. I'm like, oh, that's no bad. 28 minutes isn't bad, is it? I'm gonna do another one later, you know. But I just feel as if some people will be coming on to have a look at my thingy because Tommy Robinson shared one of my videos. And obviously with that, you got a lot of haters, you know. And it doesn't bother me, the haters. It really doesn't. I don't really think too much about them. I'm not scared of them or nothing like that. I've got enough good boys around me. They can be at my door within 2-3 minutes. Yeah, so I'm okay that way. And well, it stays a pretty tough place to get in and out of. And when I'm in Belfast, obviously I'm safe in Belfast. And yeah, pretty much safe anywhere I go, to be honest with you. Just because of the friends I have. Yeah, so I got no worries like that, you know. It's been on this planet for 55 years and I've built some amazing relationships, and I think you can tell I'm not a bad lad, you know. Normally when people meet me, they became lifelong friends, you know. If you know, I don't look at people. When I meet somebody, I go, I hope I like him. Or I hope I like her. I never think, oh, I hope he likes me. That's the thing you got to get in your head. You know, if I meet somebody that's really interesting, I do think, oh, I hope he likes me. You know what I mean? I hope he gets on all right with me. That's the way it is with me, you know. So, yeah, it's you know, it's difficult to hate. I find it difficult to hate. You know what I mean? It's like you need to be really, really bad for me to find something to hate you. You know, I can find an excuse for most things with people. You know, when most people do things, I normally think, well, what's he been through? There's a couple of girls in my life. I don't mean like that. Just friends of my girlfriend, obviously, and that. And they behave really erratically, and you know, they get barred from pubs and stuff like that, and they have fallouts over silly things and stuff. And I don't get angry You know, especially if I'm personally involved and they're directing stuff at me, I would never get angry because I think to myself, what has this girl been through? Because it's obvious when people behave like that. What's that? This is a big hole. Boy, come on, son. When people behave like that, honestly, they're no bad for just because they're bad. There is people out there that are just evil, yeah. But honestly, 99% of the people that you come across that have got, they come across like, oh, you're like, oh, I can't be around him, or they're always getting into trouble, always arguing for you. Believe you me, they've been through something in life. Right? You don't know the half yet. And it's so easy to judge people. So please, guys, try not to be so judgmental with people. If there's somebody in your area and everybody hates on them, that'll be a woman or a guy because they're erratic. They do crazy things. They're always getting into trouble. They're always causing or screaming and shouting in the street. Police always at the door. Please take the time out if you see them to say hello. How are you doing? Just nice and calmly. No sarcasm. Just be nice and calmly. You know, and then you might be surprised. You know, you might be. I know a lot of people are scared to get involved with, you know, but you can draw a line. You know, they'll understand. You know, you know, it's just you can say to them in a way. You know, I don't know how you handle all that. You know, I couldn't be doing all that trouble at the door and all that, and my wee wife or my kids, and I worry about them and all that. And you know, but are you okay? Is you know, if you ever need to talk about anything, I'm out with my dog or whatever. You know, honestly, I know it might sound crazy for you to try and approach somebody like that, but you will be surprised. And if that's not that type of person, or he's on a bad day, just walk away. Say, I'm sorry for bothering you, and walk away. You know, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say hello to people in your community. There's not enough of that going on, guys. You know, I walk by people and they have their head down, they're scared to even look at me. You know, and it's not because they're scared of me. It's not like that. It's like they're scared to have me in their lives because they think I'm going to bring so much trouble to their door. You know, and people's got enough coming on, and they don't realise I'm not like that. I would never bring trouble to anybody's door. I'm really thingy about that, like, you know. But I'd like to think quite a lot of people has been through my life is pretty much the same as me. So I implore you all, please, like, reach out to some guys and some girls, you know. Even some people are going through some drug abuse and all that. You can't trust these drug abusers. This is the thing. You can't trust these people. If it's somebody that's on the serious stuff, be careful, right? Be very careful because their soul's been taken, it's been replaced by the devil, right? And it's as simple as that. You know, I'm talking from experience, okay? Their souls have been taken and they've been replaced by the devil. So you cannot trust them when they're in that state of mind. So be very careful with dealing people with like that. And that's unfortunate because people don't actually say that. You know, a lot of these drug workers will be all helping out and these people, but they don't realize, you know, these are some of these people, they've lost who they are. And I mean, I don't know how else to explain it, but they're not human anymore. They're they'll do anything, and I mean anything. I can say things to you that would blow your mind. Honestly, these people will do anything to get what they want. Okay, but also that it's not them. Whatever it is with this drug that they take, it overtakes them. It takes stuff out of you. It takes you out and replaces it. And until they get themselves clean and back on the road to recovery, they're always going to be like that. So please be careful as well, guys. But listen, lots of love. You know, I'm still on a wee buzz of like, you know, because like I say, I love Tommy Robinson. I do. I love him with everything in my heart, and I can't contact him. I can't do anything like that because of who I am, you know. And I wouldn't want any bad press coming to him because of me. You can understand that. I know quite a lot of you have got to know me now, and you think you know a bad lad, whatever. But you know, on paper I look terrible, and if the left would have a field day, you can imagine. You know, and it's not about me. I don't care what they say about me. I've got the receipts for everything in my life. There's people been with me from day one all the way through my life, experienced everything. I've got people at every part of my life that have been there. So anybody says anything about me, I've got receipts. I've got my social worker who's been there since my mum died. She's still alive, you know. And I know on paper there's some things, but when you hear my full story, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave it at the that, guys. And I love you all. Love the love. Love the support. I was talking to Amber, the girl that gave me the selfie sticks this morning. Um, and I said they're like, you know, it is reading your comments and saying well said and well done, keep going and oh another great video, Freedom Dad and Freedom Dad, you know, clapping hands. That gives me If I feel like, oh, because it is hard, this is still hard to do. I know you might think that because I'm so hangy and all that, but when I'm not on here and I'm sitting thinking, and I think, it frightens me a wee bit, if I'm honest, going viral and all that does scare me. It does a wee bit, I'm going to be honest, like. But what does give me that courage to do it, come on, is your comments and your love, okay? Thank you so much, you guys, for subscribing. Thank you so much for you guys that have been here from the start. And like I keep telling you, I won't ever forget you. I really won't. Like, we're all going on this journey together, and together, we're all going to fight for the likes of Tommy. We're all going to fight for the likes of our children. We're all going to fight to replace our top tier government with the posh, the schoolboys, you know, and we're going to replace it with working class guys that represent this country, okay? Because the majority of this country are working class people, okay? That's how they get their wages from us. That's how they're able to go out in their fancy dinners and their private cars and everything that they do. The amount of millions that they spend just to be, their expenses is ridiculous. Ridiculous. They taking the piss, like, they're taking the piss, all of them. Some of them are taking the piss more than that, and they're the ones that shouldn't even be in Parliament. They shouldn't be representing our communities. And they're the ones taking the piss the most. They're loving it. They're worse than the benefit frauds. They are benefit frauds. Ha! There you go. They're benefit frauds. They're taking advantage of benefits that they're getting for being Prime Ministers. I'm not even going to go on about Storming as we mate. As we made bought him all his clothes and give him a wee flat and all that. Oh, why? Why would you do that, Mr. Ali? Eh? So serious questions need to be asked. Really big questions need to be asked about this Labour government. Who's in the Labour government? Who their connections were? Who are they working with? And why have they been persecuting Tommy Robinson? Questions need to be asked, guys. Let's start asking them questions. Please start asking questions, sharing it. Start telling people. It's no hard. If somebody says to you, oh, I don't know why you support Tommy Robinson, just say, why not? They'll say, he's a racist. Prove it. Go to your phone right now and get me something that he said that's racist. Get me something that says anything other than he's just trying to protect and warn people about what he has seen with his own eyes. No lies, own eyes. Remember that one. So, guys, love you so much respect, and God bless you all. Have a really good Sunday. And I know I'm a bit rough, but don't shave at the weekends. It's my day, but who shaves at the weekend? You know what I mean? So, yeah, so much respect. God bless you all. Bye, guys.